W short entry. Into disqualified. RTY long retested. S&P stocks sell in 539 contracts.
You guys hear me in YouTube land? Stuff is just ripping.
YN long retested.
Alright, let me know if you guys can hear me on YouTube, please. Someone from my trade room at least.
Brazil's Lula says if Trump puts tariffs on Brazil, we will reciprocate.
RTY like Iceberg sell RT 260 contracts. NQI Iceberg sell NQ 214 contracts. NQ short validated.
Alright, I was going to share my camera today, but this stuff is just ripping around, so let me know if you can hear me on YouTube. You can hear me, okay, thank you. I just saw that. Alright, I mean, this stuff is just whipping around, like, so we'll go to the most recent setup, obviously, and then I'll backtrack. There was a bunch of the newer trades that fired off. They were all perfect, which is very rare. And perfect meaning very quick and winners. Alright, sell stops. A ton of iceberg activity to start the day. We had buy or sell ice here, right? Started coming in before the open, and then so I combined these. All this stuff came in. I combined those, and then you had buy ice. Then you had sell ice. Then you had sell ice and buy stops. Then the number came out. I was actually long. I got out of some. We'll go over where I got out, but I stopped out of the rest down here, and now we got new events. Now you got sell stops and sell ice. During all that activity, I thought for sure we saw some heightened relative volume, and it wasn't. It still hasn't really hit 200%, which is kind of strange. I mean, this ATR is off the charts now. It's up to 43. So this is a perfect example, guys. Days that you traders out there that email me and say, well, why is your risk so much you put on trades? When I trade the NASDAQ, I risk 10 points to make 20. Yeah, good luck risking 10 points when the ATR is 45, right? So that's the point. What we're doing with these zones, the zone drawing tool, with my, I hate to say system, with my methodology, is we're taking into consideration the real-time order flow, and the volatility. Very, very important, and it helps you with your sizing. So the sizing is based on what I'm willing to risk per trade, $500 per trade on these different accounts for the different strategies that we'll go through. So that's telling me what to risk, and it shows me where I enter. Like if I'm in a short here, I'm getting in at this yellow line. It's just outside of an ATR. If I'm getting long, I'm getting long at this yellow line just outside of an ATR. If I go short, my stop's way up here. If I go long, my stop's way down here. I do that for a reason, because of watching these for 8 years. I've found that's the best way to avoid algo city, right? And it also helps you avoid when the ATR is 44. When you do static stops, so on and so forth. So anyway, we got a trade brewing here, an A+ reversion trade. So I have different trades we'll be going over on the webinar here. I got position trading, I have which is more looking for bigger moves. I did have this on in the beginning of the day, a little bit ago. We'll go over that. Right now I'm looking at reversion trades. So there's an A plus reversion trade in the back in black. 2 have already happened today. I did catch those, which is pretty surprising for how volatile this market has been. We'll go over those. But if this comes up here, I'm going to take an A plus reversion. So this is more a scalp, right? I know so 98% of traders love to scalp because they can't stand sitting in trades for this kind of movement. So this trade is when you get these ATR entries. This one would be the one ATR entry. It's actually right in front of the ATR. This is the ATR, and that's right there, right? So that the trade is you're jumping in front of the ATR and you're out back at the zone if it comes up there. Why is it A plus? Because the markets already show a ridiculous propensity to come back to these zones. I know you guys hear the same thing every time I'm on these webinars, but it's just insanity. I'm going to show you like 5 of them already today. And then when you get a prior event, it's even better, aka A plus, right? Because you have traders that are run over in here. When the market comes back, they say, so whoever was long in here that got run over, they say, let me out of the trade. That helps propel back to the zone. On top of the algos propelling back to the zone. That's if it comes up. If it moves lower, there's other trades we can take back in black. That's already happened today too. So again, I'm going to go over all these once this thing kind of settles down a little bit. And you guys are on here to see live trading, so I want to put some trades on. Hopefully, again, I'm not just going to put trades on because I'm on a webinar, but if they materialize, then I'll put them on. So the back in black entries here is at 21,636, and this down here tells me my position sizing for my reversion trades, risking $500 trade. So I could put on 5 micros, risking $500. So let me put this puppy in. That's the one ATR there, 636. And then we'll go over potential position trades here. And there's stuff flying off everywhere, but I didn't even get a chance to, I was literally, when you see all the trades I already put on in NASDAQ, I didn't have a chance to even get over there. In the meantime, there's a couple position trades we may be able to put on here. So first of all, algo guy flipped, right? So it was bullish and then it just pulled bearish. So my bark and lick trades need that filter to put those on. What's a bark and lick? Bark means blind ATR retest confirm. So any event, meaning blind, doesn't have to be an important area. If it does the pattern ATR retest confirm, I get in the trade. And the lick is the same trade as a bark, but I'm just my target's heavy resting liquidity. We'll go over that if I put it on. I can do the same thing here. I can't do it here right now because algo guy. I use algo guy. That's an exponential moving average. We call it algo guy because so many algos trade off of it. That is currently bearish, so I can't do the bark and lick this way, but I can do it that way. On the long side, there's potential trades I can trade off of this iceberg if it breaks. That's one of my 6 distinct setups at stop iceberg setups. It's called broken ice. So let's see where we're at. And I accidentally deleted my my zones in NASDAQ, and I was trying to draw them quickly, so I don't even know where my zone. Maybe if it slows down, I'll actually redraw them the best I can. And you guys, because I always get the questions on how do I draw the zones, right? So the zones we call them inflection zone, IZZY zones. These are just zones where important things have happened, right? Just like Barker Profile Composite, Ludwig levels. So these are areas where I look for volume events to take the trade. So for instance, this volume event is back into this zone that I just quickly drew. It's still valid, but I just didn't get a chance to really confirm like back stuff, so on and so forth. But this is still an IZZY zone with a volume event. That would be a long trade if this turns out to be a long setup, right? So hold on 1 second, guys. I got a new microphone so you guys can hear me better, and the problem is it doesn't have a mute button, so you guys got to hear me clear my throat 85 times in a webinar, so I apologize. All right, so a couple different things I'm working here. I'm working the A plus reversion short, right? These are all in different trading accounts, right? I have live accounts. I have the Apex accounts that are attached to each one of those strategies. So if this tags this, I will take the A plus reversion. That's my fill, that's my stop, that's a short. If this comes up here and fills right now, I'll take an IZZY long, right? So I just showed you that inflection zone. Let's see what else we got here before it gets up there. As far as longs, this would be a pick long too. So again, another important area I look at. Market profile composite, which are value areas of multiple days merged together. Value areas just where 70% of the trade occurred in a day. These are multiple days. These areas are extremely, extremely powerful. You see the market basically came down to the point of control and then started to bounce back out of here. So the volume event is right here. So I would take a pick long and an ISI long if this moves out of here. My entry is 21,646.75, and I could put on two, right? 2 micros for risking $500. It is adjusting to the size of the volume event. That's what you see down here. Whopper sell ice, by the way. Somebody's in here selling the bejesus out of this, and this is what usually happens the day after the Fed meets, right? The big money usually comes in the following day to do their business, right? And there was buy ice here, but there's been more sell ice aggregate overall. You can see somebody was putting in it right before the open, which is pretty rare in its own right? Then they put more in. There was some buy ice here, wasn't as big, and then sell ice up here. More sell ice, like somebody's unloading on this market. Doesn't mean it's going down, no, but it has a very good chance. It has more of a chance to go down than up if the paper, aka the big money we call paper, the big houses, if they keep selling it, the market will realign eventually, right? So that's the way you have to look at it. Doesn't mean just because you see sell ice, you jump in a short. We have the patterns, but just for a bigger picture thesis type of view, just know that most of this activity in here has been sell ice. All right, so this never filled me on my A+ reversion, so that it did come back to the zone, but it didn't get the ATR, so that's still working. If this moves out of here, I will take a long. So the other thing I do is, and again, all my zones are gone. I don't know how I deleted these things, but I come up with a thesis based on structure, right? And a thesis is just a guess of what I think is going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen next. That's why I use real-time volume to help me judge what's going to happen next. But if I'm looking at this in a bigger picture type of view, all this is, and you can see it bounce right off of that ISI zone, all this is a pullback to the top of this balance area, right? And yesterday, and everything's fractal, right? You had little balance, and then yesterday, after the Fed meetings, it started to show its hand. It put in a huge buying tail. That was a failed balance break down. That was telling me it was going to move higher. And then you had directional conviction. You had two buying tails, buying tail, directional conviction. I was talking to my room on the PM webinar, and I said, this looks like it's going to rip into tomorrow. That's exactly what it did. What does that mean? It's just a guess based on what's happening with structure. What did it do now? It's still bullish. It just pulled back to the top of this guy. Where I will become very, very, very interested in trading double-sized shorts if it breaks the high volume node of that balance area. Balance area is just two-sided trade. So I will go long, Even if it's down here and I got an area, say it was market profile composite, I'll still go long based on my strategies, based on the real-time volume events if they're telling me to go long. But if this thing breaks that, then I would take double-sized shorts. And actually, you could take double-sized longs here as far as structure, and I probably will because nothing's been violated. I don't like that selling tail, and I don't like knowing this is the beauty. So actually, I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to take double-sized longs. I'm going to use the information that we just talked about. I'll still take the long, but I'm not going double-sized because we just talked about how much sell ice is in here, right? So somebody's selling this thing. So I'll still take my longs. I'm just not going double-size based on what I'm seeing with real-time volume, which is the most important thing you can look at, in my opinion. Remember, guys, volume drives markets. Price does not drive markets. Your little squiggly lines on the chart don't drive markets. Volume at the squiggly lines or whatever you're looking at, if it reacts the way you want to see it, that's what drives markets, right? That's how you decide whether you're going to enter whatever you're looking at. That's the best way to judge if the area is valid, right? So again, now this is starting to slow down a little bit. Hopefully I can go over some of my other trades. So I still have a reversion, A+ reversion, one reversion there. And then if this moves out of here, I'm going to take the long, the pick in the ISI long. And you have to adjust this. This is the zone drawing tool. I'll put my document in here where you can see everything I'm using here in a second. But this keeps changing, right? That's what that is right there. You can bring all these values up here too. I got too many on here. I usually just like to have the, let's just make it like this so it's not confusing people. There we go. So that's the current zone where I would go long price or where I would go short price depending on my strategy, and then it's also my stop, like I said. So if I go long here, my stop is here. If I go short here, my stop is here. So that is the beauty of you know, what I'm teaching, my methodology, everything is here for you as far as the system, as far as the entries, the exits, how much you should trade, right? So that is where most traders, usually are. They don't know. Okay, I want to go long here, but should I go long right here? Should I wait? Blah, blah, blah. This gives you everything. And when you have the system down and you understand how this stuff works, and that's what my course goes over, these setups and the right way to trade them. Once you have that down, then you just have to monitor yourself, which is very, very hard. I mean, my last couple of days, I've been making some rookie mistakes. I've been complaining in my trade room about it, just really dumb mistakes. And it's my system, and I know exactly what I should be doing, but there's times I just, I'll do something stupid, right? So once you get your system down, aka your edge, then you just need to monitor yourself. And trust me, it's very, very easy to go off the rails. So we might get into some of those old stories here. And if you're newer in here, you haven't heard them, but if you've been in here, you've heard them. They're not fun stories, but I like to tell them so you guys can learn, so you don't have to go through the same pain. All right, so let's get these trades, and I still haven't got them in. 21,646 currently. I can put on 2 micros, risking $500. Let me get these in. And if you got questions as we're trading here, just throw them in the YouTube channel. I don't see Discord, so until after the webinar, so just throw them in there. All right, that's working. One second, I want to see if any cameras. Let me know if you're free this week. I'll show you how these presented. Okay. All right, so I was going to show the camera today because I'm going to start doing some advertising, like on social media and stuff, because I've done no advertising ever in 4 years. Just to help me grow as an educator and stuff, but that's not going to happen today, so you guys don't get to see my beautiful face. All right, so in the meantime, if this does confirm to be a bearish event, then I can take barks and licks to the downside because of Algo Guy is in that direction, right? And this actually may be a red rum too. Let's see. This is, so I'll show you what I'm referring to if you're new in here. If this last zone was 596, and you can see right here, 595.75 to 78 quarter. It's a little bit below there. I wouldn't really, this isn't considered a red rum. So what I'm talking about, these strategies, these are these. All right, so you got another volume event here. So there's a couple things I can do. Actually, I should already be short here. So I missed this, but if this comes back to this price, I'll go over this here shortly. I got a barking lick off of this guy right now. Entries 21,561. That comes back, and I put on 2. So that's barking lick short. Where I was talking about trading off of this most recent event, but I'm going to go over here how you can take it off of prior events too. 21,561. Bark and lick. All right, so what did I just do there? Well, I was watching this event, and I'm still going to add to it on this event if this happens, right? But this event, I can still trade the short as long as the newest event doesn't prove to be bullish. So this never got to the ATR to make this a bullish event. So I can take barks and licks off of that stop run, which that's the entry. I still haven't filled it. If it comes back, I will fill it. Then I could take barks and licks off of that, and then this is the most recent event. Then so you can see as the market trends, you can have trade on, trade on, trade on, and all you're doing is you're trailing your stop to the most recent event. So if I do get filled on this original bark and lick, this is the beauty of these zones too. Right, this is where I stop out. I don't say the market's working in my favor. I'm going to trail my stop. For me to get out, this thing would have to come all the way back here at the time. Right, that was the stop. Then we had a new event, so I could bring my stop down to there. If I'm still not filled on this, but that's where I would do it. Now here's a new event, and my stop can go there. I do move my stops sometimes, most times if it's in a prior event. So I would move it out here. So we'll cover that if I get filled here. Other than that, so I got short working off of that. If this turns bearish, I can turn shorts off of that and then add to this last one. All right, so I just filled on the bark and lick off of this guy. right? Because neither one of the newer ones prove bullish. Meaning, this is how I judge, right? This is how, from watching so many of these, I've determined the best way to judge whether these events are bullish or bearish if the market could push an ATR, 5-minute ATR out of there. So this one never did it. This one never did it. So this one just did and retested and confirmed, so I'm short. So now my stop, though, I can trail the most recent event. Remember I said it was way up here, now it's down here. What I am going to do, though, I'm not going to stop out right smack dab in the middle of this guy. I'm going to move it outside of this one. It does get tricky when you get event, and you're like, okay, well, I'm supposed to move it up 200 points so I don't stop on a prior event. So you got to use some judgment here, right? You could just stop out normally. That would be right around 21.625. I shouldn't say right around. Right there, 21.6, 24.50. I'm going to move it out of there. I'm willing to risk an extra 25 points here, 26, 23 points, whatever it is. I'll move it up to 6.48. That just gets me outside of this prior event. Why am I doing that? Because there's caught traders in there, like we were talking about. Whoever bought this is holding their breath. Now they're like literally crapping themselves, hoping it comes back to get out of these trades. So when these markets hit these areas, they respond because it's just traders praying, and then they get out of the trade. That causes the next wave down. So I don't want to stop out right where traders are going to be covering their positions that they say, please let me out of the trade. So I'm moving my stop up for this barking lick to 48, 648. And then maybe we'll add to it. Put these in here. Oh, and that reversion trade I was working, that prior one is canceled, right? We have a new event. And this one's not valid. So the A plus reversion, remember I was going to work that guy. It did retest the zone, but I never got to the ATR. Well, there is no A plus here. Yeah, you can take that one, but that's not the prior event. That's 2 events ago. So I'm not taking that trade now. That's not the trade. The trade's when you get event, your entry, ATR entry is in the prior event. All right, so of course I fell to that exact tick on this damn trade, and that's fine. But the beauty is I'm not going to lose a full amount because I was able to trail my stop. So now what do we have working here? I'm not doing the reversion trade, so I actually have to cancel these. I can't believe I remembered. These are live accounts. Well, they're all live accounts, but these ones are real money accounts that I've qualified. Let me get these out of here. All right, so I trail my stop to bark and lick here, and now I can, if this turns into a long setup, I can take the long here still. So let's check again, see what we got long wise potential. You know, this is still going to be a pick, even though the event was kind of inside this guy. Pick when I mean profile and courage. That's what it's called. I'll go over it on the tree. But my entry's outside of it, so I'll take the pick. I got nothing on the lugs right now. These are my important areas that I look for the events, like I said, right? So then let's see if we got, this is still an Izzy. Yeah, that got through the Izzy, so I'm not going to take an Izzy. So the only thing I can take long here is a pick long. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm not going to enter it until it gets through, if it can get through this prior event right where I'm going to stop out of my short. So I'll enter the pick, but it's at 21.648. And I'll go over what I'm talking about here because I know there's always new traders as far as these strategies. All right, so the pick is working. All right, so what I'm talking about when I'm referring to strategies are, again, these are, so that the top part of this document, this is what you get as part of my trade room, right? And I go over these every day when I'm trading live, and I go over what I'm doing. And the idea is for you to take one or two of these when you first start the position trading strategies and learn them and get really good at them. Take one of the auto fade strategies. There was just Sexy Gexy. I'm going to get into these trades I already took, but there was already a winner today for that. That is the only trade that I take, these two, where I get in the middle of the zone. We'll go over those. And then we have the reversion strategies, which are more for scalpers. So you can see there's something in here for every type of trader. You have the reversion strategy, which just is basically a scalp back to the zone. You have the auto fade strategy, which is for all you R traders that literally lose your mind when I show you where my stops and entries are. Well, this is literally getting right in the middle of the zone and then taking those trades. That I'm willing to do that. And then you have all these position trading strategies. So what I'm talking about, pick, it's this one here, and they have funny names. They'll be memorable as well. Profiles and Curves. That was a book by JFK. That's because it's at a market profile. Get it? I'm very witty that way. So it's called pick. Take any trade that moves into or out of a market profile, composite high or low. That's what this is right here. Right? So it's moving into this guy right now. The volume event was in it. You know, the best ones are right at the edge, but if I get filled, it's going to be moving on there, and I'm okay taking it. So that's all I got working on alongside. Now for Thesis, we looked at that balance area. Nothing's been violated yet, but this is interesting too, right? So first of all, I got in this guy at the open and almost made it to the top of it. That's what you expect. Now it got out of that, failed out of it, got in here. What do you expect? What should happen? This should make it to the other side. Just a thesis, a guess on what usually happens. If this could hold here and move back out, well, it's telling you something. But right now, this is looking like that's going to happen. So that's just a thesis based on I already have a short on based on the real time volume, right? So looking at that though, that looks bearish. And then we talked about this. It's still okay, but I'm telling you, this thing so you got balance area, and you actually have another balance area. If it gets to that 21,500, I will be trading double size shorts and watching for a move to zero today. Fat finger to zero, one move. So when I said I'm just kidding, I wish it would happen because I want to see these longs get their asses handed to them because it's so irrational, some of these moves. But I'm just kidding when I say zero. All right, so again, I have bark and lick short on, and then I'm just waiting here. I could add to that if this guy confirms, meaning tags the ATR, put on another one. This guy confirms, I could put on another one. And then I have a long working. All right, I'm sick of looking at this. We'll come back and I'll show you my trades from earlier, get a chance. This is almost, I don't even know what the hell's going on in here today. So somebody is unloading on these markets all day, somebody big, right? Look at this activity in Russell. What does that mean? Well, you trade accordingly, but bigger picture, you watch over the next couple days and see, hey, you wake up tomorrow or by Monday and the thing's down 5%, you can say to yourself, wow, I remember that webinar with Scott and there was, 4,000 sell ice. Well, I might want to watch that. I might want to pay attention to where the big money's playing next time for my bigger picture moves, right? So I haven't done anything off of these. Plus, algo guy's not bearish yet. Doesn't mean I couldn't have shorted something up here. I guarantee there is a short up here because I'm missing it. Yeah, so there's Izzy's up here. I completely missed them. So it is what it is. This short is working in NASDAQ. And now this guy, this event just proved bearish, right? So now if it comes back to that guy, I'll put on another bark and lick. And this one's about to be bearish. What I want to watch out for here, because I already have a position on, are there areas where I may get out of some of these trades. I will watch. It's only a two lot on, right? But I would watch this. This would still be a, where did I get in here? What was this entry? 40 something, 50 something. It was right around there. Yeah, this would still be a 60-point trade, 60+ point trade. Right now it's a 40-point trade. So I will watch these spot gamma levels. I will watch these monthly Q levels to potentially piece out of this. I always try to hold one for the bigger move, one contract. So right now I only got two on, so it's like I'm going to get out of one, and then I'm going to hold one for the major lug. These lugs are ridiculous as far as support and resistance. Now the newest one just validated too, by the way, but they're great for targets too. So we're approaching that spot gamma level right now. If it starts to bounce, I'm probably going to get out of one of these. That got real close. So I'm going to get out of one here if I can get my damn mouse over. This thing is whizzing today. Not Wizzo, the clown, for you older. Alright, so I got out of one on my barks. Of course, so what I always joke about, there's a camera in my office. Every time I start talking, they do. So the minute I said I was going to get out, the thing just spiked 30 points. Alright, so this is liquidity here too. This is longer term liquidity. If you can't get through here, I'm going to get out of my lick trade too because it's spot gamma level. And I can always get back in too. That's the beauty. So I'm going to give this a second, see if it blows through. I need to get tick strike up here because I use that to help me. See how it's ripping away? Let me get out of this. Oops, that was not the right account. Come on, man. It's like I can't even turn my head and the thing is, wow. All right, I got out of the lick trade. I still have one bark left because I'm holding the bark for that blue lug. For my liquidity trades, I traded liquidity. So this was a decent trade, right? It wasn't a great risk reward as far as what I was risking, but this is heavy resting liquidity and it's struggling. I got out of the lick trade. I got out of one of my bark trades because of that too and struggled to get the rest of liquidity, but I'm going to hold one bark to see if we can get down to the blue lug. I can put these puppies right back on if this does this, or if that guy does that. So that's why I got out of one and I could put some new ones on. That's not why I got out of one, but I'm saying it's like there's another setup right around the corner that I could put these back on. So that was a good trade. That was a 60-point trade in seconds without much torture, which usually doesn't happen in my world. You're in my world now, Grandma. All right, what do you got here? Why are the comments so low? I can't even read these comments here. Nick, I want to trade intraday moves, hold positions for 30 minutes to 2 hours. Should I experiment and find average threshold values, which usually cause binary? No, I mean if you get a volume event, that's the threshold value that we're looking for, right? For the bigger move. So if you get a volume event, that's why I like my sexy Gexies. So I'll show you one from earlier. I didn't hold this one because I can't remember what I did here, but as far as where was it at here? That was this one here. So I took this sexy Gexy, was right into the open, right? So Gex level, Gex 2, market came down, and I heard buy ice coming in. I jumped in immediately. So with these Gex trades, I get out of one the minute you get the dealer reaction, because the whole idea behind this is you're getting dealer reaction at these levels. The dealers aren't always the only player in here. Most of the time it's just dealers and algos, 85% of the time. There's other times the big money, like today, the big money's in here unloading, right? You're getting the relative volume's pretty high, so on and so forth. The point is when I this is the auto entry trade that I was talking about where I jump in right in the middle of the zone, right in the Gex level. So I got in right when I heard this buy ice into this Gex level. I got out of one here, right when I moved out, looking for that instant reaction from the dealers, but you have the volume event, which this is the concentrated threshold, Nick, for looking for bigger moves, and I got that too, and I got out of this one at Gex 1, out of the other sexy Gexy. What else was here? There was actually back-to-back A-plus reversions. This has all happened real quick, don't get me wrong. Like, I didn't even have a chance to look at other markets. That's why I'm basically just focusing on NASDAQ right now, because that's all I did. You had event, the entry, there's your one ATR, into a prior event, A+, got out of that. Then you had, what did I do? I can't remember the other. There was another one in here too. It was that one. Oh yeah, and then it was right back at. I missed this one, but this one I got that one. This one tagged the ATR back in the zone, right back to the zone. And then you had. I did take this. This was awesome, meaning it was quick and painless back in black trade. So it's a back in black trade. So we've been talking about reversion trades, how the markets will come back to these zones after tagging these selected ATRs. This is the 5 minute, the 1 standard deviation, the 2 standard deviation, the 3. So the back door is the back in black is when you're waiting for it to tag an important area. Here's the most important area on options, the Gex 1, which is the heaviest level, where you know dealers are going to be reacting, the heaviest concentration of volume. So I wait for that reaction. Then I took the 2. It was right at it. I took the 2 and the 1 back to the zone. So I caught A+. I missed that one. Then I caught the back in black back to that. And then now I have position trades on. So I did get out of one. So guys, you see why I get out of these trades at certain areas, right? Look where this thing bounced. So I got out of my full lick trade and I got out of one of my barks. struggle to get through resting liquidity at a spot gamma level, I got out. So if it does come all the way back on me, I don't have the full position on. So this is what I do, right? I don't trail my stops because I have money in the bank. I trail my stops. My stops are trail based on new events, right? First and foremost. That's it. That's the only time I trail my stops. But I do get out of some of my position as it hits important areas. So I knew this resting liquidity was a very important area, and it can't get through it. I'm going to get out. Did. And I know these spot gamma levels and these GEX levels are very important areas. So I don't just sit here and go short position and hope it goes through here. If I see it reacting and not pushing through, then I get out of some. I got out of my full leg trade and I got one bark left. Now what happened? This event proved, and here's the one ATR, by the way. I actually missed this trade too. This is a back in black off of that. Again, I'm all over the place here trying to show you guys stuff. This was exactly what I took up there off those GEX levels. These are the same types of GEX levels for spot gamma. You could have waited for it to tag, which it did, take the ATR, back to the zone, you're out of the trade. That's the back in black. Bounce. It doesn't always have to be a GEX level either. It could be an important area on the chart too, which I think this was the point of control of this guy as well. Now it was a little bit below there. So there was nothing on the chart stuff, but I could have taken it off that. I just missed it. So regardless, now back to the position trades. So you see I'm bouncing between strategy and strategy. We're talking about the back in black. I already have I had the bark and lick on. I still have one of those on. Now, here's your ATR. Here's your retest. If this comes back again, I'm going to put on new bark and lick trades, brand new, fresh trades, and I'm trailing my stop to that area. Again, I'll move it out of there, but because Algo Guy is still bearish. This might be a red rum too. Red rum. Pretty close. Yeah, if this fails out of here, I'd take a red rum too. What's a red rum? Again, this is the exponential moving average. This is an important thing. Volume event it wasn't there originally, but it came back. Now it is the red ribbon, right? Because these markets have you see it's already bounced off this red ribbon once, twice. If it's the third time, I'm taking that short as well. So this comes back now, and I'm not getting in right here. If this comes back, I am going to put on another bark and lick short and a red rum short. 21,505 I could put on too. Did I miss any S? There's been very few. Hold on. Let's see what we missed here. Yep, I sure did. Well, golly gee willikers, I can't believe that the market bounced off the GEX level and came back to the zone. There's another one I missed. So guys, they're all over the place all day long, right? Holy crap, I didn't even hear this fire off. I would have taken this in a heartbeat. You got the HVL, 0 date to expiration, HVL, to the tick. You could have taken the 2 and the 1, no heat, back to the zone. So please, in my trade room, I really hope you guys are taking these trades. I completely missed this one. Again, I miss trades all the time, but it really, really bothers me when they're just like layups. Like, this doesn't get any easier, guys. Like, this is the definition of a back in black. Tag, ATR, ATR. So that's my own fault for sitting on that NASDAQ for this long. So anyway, this is a bearish event. It tagged below. Here's your ATR retest. I missed back in black for the 2 and the 1 there. That hurt. But let's see, we got position trades. Algo Guy's bearish. This is a red rum too as well. So if this comes back out of here, I'm going to take bark and lick shorts off of this as well. Did I mention I missed that ATR reversion trade? That was upsetting. So let's see where we are structure-wise. See if I can trade double-sized shorts. Not yet. So all this guy did right now, nothing's violated yet, right? As far as structure, that's that balance area from yesterday, right? So came back, bounced basically right off that inflection zone. So this still looked bullish. It's, bigger picture stuff. So you hear what I'm saying? This looks bullish. I will take shorts. So you see, I'm a day trader. I will, whatever the real-time volume events are telling me to do, I do. But if I were to get, say this, I got a bullish event, I could potentially take, longs double size. But I'm telling you, if that break comes back and breaks that high volume node, then I'm going to take double size shorts. So guys, I'm just using the stuff to come up with a thesis to trade bigger, but I'm trading either way based on the volume events because that's the most important thing. So again, if that gets through, I'd say 60-60, that's high volume node of that, especially if it clears these tails. Adios. But right now it looks bullish. right, let's get this in. Bark, lick, red rum, shorts. You see that price down here. It's actually right here where the short aggressive says 60, 76, 50, and I could put on 5. I'm very, very, very mad I missed that back in black. Very mad. I might actually cry on the webinar. 60, 76, 50. Bark, lick, red rum, red rum. All right, those are all working. 3 shorts working there. And then I got red rum. Actually, I didn't put these in yet. So I will put on brand new bark, lick, red rum here too. This one's 21,505 quarter. That's a NASDAQ. That's only 2,505 quarter. Bark, lick, red rum in here too. Red rum, red rum. All right, so those are all working. All right, I gotta take a breath, see if you guys got some questions. This is very, very upsetting. I missed this trade, guys. I think someone in my room was telling me I heard something fire off. Let's see. No. You got no one in my room caught this trade. Like, what are you guys looking at? I at least have an excuse. I'm on a webinar hopping from market to market. Like that, they don't get any easier than that, guys. The only way you might not have taken it if there was heavy relative volume, but I'm looking. There's no heavy relative volume. There was none. So you don't want to be taking the reversion trades. You don't want to be taking the sexy gexy trades. These down here, or even the TikTok. If you're seeing heavy relative volume, that means the big money is in here unloading. You don't want to hope it reverts to this. You don't want to hope the algos win and the dealers win when the big money is getting their stuff done. You want to stay out of the way of those trades. But that if you're seeing 200% or more relative volume, I get questions on the relative volume all the time. I'm using Sierra chart relative volume. All this is showing me is the exact 5-minute time period for this time of day. It tells me when it's out of the ordinary. I have it set for 30 days. You can set it for whatever you want. You can set it for the last week, for the last 6 months. I got it set for 30 days. I think that's the best judge for me, right? But today, and this was close in NASDAQ during all this activity, but it still hasn't really gotten to, heavy relative volume yet. But the point is, don't take sexy gexies or back in blacks if you're seeing heavy relative volume. All right, let me put this in the YouTube for you newer folks, and then we'll go over each one of these. All right, some questions in here. TRS, caught my Happy Gilmore. Nice work. You're the teacher's pet for the day. Caught my Happy Gilmore when I said you're in my world now, Grandma. Lou Herb, hey, I haven't seen that puppy for a while. Where you been, Lou? Do you ever cut trades early if price gets back to the volume as if you took the trade off? Yeah, we have this is the newest trade that I've introduced. It's not. Wait, hold on, what's going on here? So again, you want to have this alert history up too. So you bring that up here. File alerts, because for instance, if I had this up in my face, I would have seen the ES event. I didn't even see it. I cost myself a huge trade there, a 1 and 2 backdoor ATR. So you go to file alerts, and that's how you bring that up. Yes, I've been very reluctant to release this. I finally did. This is, guys, and these are the trading strategies. My course will be out in the next 2 weeks, I promise, for all of these different strategies. I go over them every day in my room. You can learn them as I'm trading live, but I'm going to have an actual course for this and the reversion as well. Those are coming out in the next 2 weeks. I don't care if I have to sit here and pull a Sylvester Stallone. When he wrote Rocky, he blacked out all his windows, put aluminum foil on his windows, and didn't leave his house until he got done writing the script for Rocky. So that's what I'm going to do. I got to get this stuff done, guys, but I'm just always so busy. And the thing is, it's like I'm trading all day. I'm doing webinars. The day ends. It's like I do not have the mental fortitude to just jump in and do the course. It's like I got to take a break mentally, and then all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, I got to go to bed. I got to be up at 5 in the morning. And it's like, that's why it's so hard for me to get this stuff done, like these courses and stuff, but I promise it will be out. Anyway, and the other thing too, the The trading strategy course is going to be a continuing education type of course where every time I add a new strategy, you'll get an alert and you'll have it for life. So I'll get on my website, put your name in the email list, and I'll send out an email when this stuff is ready. So anyway, the newest one is hot knife through butter, right? So I've been very reluctant to show that it's not that consistent of a trade, but it does work more than it doesn't, and that's what an edge is, right? So what is a hot knife through butter? It's basically a bar where you get the ATR retest confirmed, but the more times it keeps tagging the ATR and it cannot go, once it gets back above that zone, you can either, so say for instance, we'll do it on this one if I get filled on this, right? So this one already, this is the ES stop run. Here's your ATR, right? Here's your retest. If it comes back again, so that's 2 attempts at the ATR. So say I did this again, well, you don't even have to stop out at the normal stop. You can just get out once it breaks the zone. I would go just above that yellow, that's 10% of an ATR, go right above that. So that's the way you can exit without waiting for your full stop out if it's kind of telling you it can't go, right? And the more times it tags the ATR, the more it's telling you it's not going to go, get the hell out there. You can also enter trades this way. So this has been different ways to trade this too. You can jump in right here and just risk partial to the other side of the zone, but I'm telling you, this is a very active trade where you may get stopped out and you may have to take it again. I'm too old to do that anymore. So the way I'm doing them now, if I do take the hot knife through butter, attempt, can't go, I jump in here, I just use my normal stop. It's still a great risk reward because I'm not waiting here to go long. I'm waiting right outside the zone. So that's the hot knife through butter trade, Lou. If you were in my room, you would know this. And you were in my room. I don't know why you ditched me. It hurts. Cuts deep. Are those levels static? Which levels? Intraday, predator. As far as the zone's static, but the entries and exits are not static. But once I get in, I do not move my stop. So you'll see some days, most days, especially as it slows down, and I've been burned too many times doing this, so I don't change my stop, right? I will change my entry, so this keeps changing until I get filled, right? Once I get filled, wherever that stop is, that's the other side. It's just a long aggressive. It's just where I stop out. That helps me avoid algo city the best I can. Once that stop goes in, I don't change it. So you'll see on days like, so say I take this bark and lick, and then market just sits here for 3 hours. Well, the ATR is going to start to contract, and so are these prices, right? I will not move my stop. I can't tell you how many times I'm like, oh, I could save myself some money as the markets are dying down. If it comes back, it tags that, and then it goes. So I always leave it there. You can do whatever you want, but I don't move my stop once I put the trade on. But what levels are you talking about as far as being static? Let me know what you mean there. Curious, intraday predator levels are based. Okay, you already answered that. He said thanks. You're welcome. Traley, where do you get these levels in Bookmap from? So guys, what levels are you talking about? Are you talking about the zone drawing tool? So I just posted that. So that's this guy. So just click on it. Zone drawing tool, Bookmap Marketplace. So you can go in here. So you got 2 options, right? First of all, I don't know why they have this where you got to click on the monthly. That's the only option. So click on monthly. Why does it not have the? It's supposed to have the. What is going on here? It's supposed to have the pro. Why is this not? So it's supposed to have the basic and the pro. The basic is. And they're supposed to have the YouTube videos up here too. So I gotta have them fix this up. I don't know why I haven't been on here for a couple, but I know I used to have the pro. So the basic is just showing you the long validation. I mean the ATR and the long validation. You'll have the ATR, and you can bring it on down here too if you want on the sub chart. That bothers me, so let's take it up. The pro version gives you all these ATR reversion lines. Right, well worth it. In my opinion, it's $20 more a month. If you remember my trade room, you get 20% off of the zone drawing tool, pro or basic as well. You get off of everything that I offer. If you remember my trade room, my courses, my mentoring, everything. So anyway, if the basic is just this, the pro, you get all these reversion lines, and you can play. Those are what I've been talking about. That's the one we just missed, right? So this one was it tagged the 2 ATR, bounced off of this. I don't know if I mentioned that. Bounced off of that. 2, 1, back to the zone. You're out, and that yellow line is where you exit the trade. So we'll probably get another one on. I missed that one, but you get that in the Bookmap Marketplace. Again, I don't know what's wrong with this thing. Why they don't have the different options? Like what is going on? I can't even click on the damn thing. Oh, product with this option's already in cart. Let's see. Let's see what it does. It doesn't show the pro. I don't know. I'll get that straightened out today. Sorry about that. That's not my gig, right? They do that at Bookmap. What else? Alan Poe, can you show your settings and indicator settings for your Rinko chart? It's not a Rinko chart. It's Algo guy. Don't call him Rinko. So you get the settings as part of my trade room. I can click on this quickly, but because guys build this on other platforms too. This is Thinkorswim, which is a piece of crap overall. You know, you get what you pay for, which is free. So they just suck as far. It just sucks, right? And I tell them they don't roll their products timely manner. The thing that will, after it, if I don't turn it off every 3 days, it's like it freezes and I can't. It sucks, but it's free. So again, save your money where you can save your money. You can save your money with hedging. With charting and stuff. Where you can't, where you're not. I'm filled, by the way, on both these. Well, not NASDAQ yet, but I'm short Bark and Lick here. So this is what I'm going to do. So this is a good example of me getting out what possibly a hot knife through butter. Here's your ATR retest. Well, I can't believe it retested the exact note zone and came back. I've never seen that pattern before, except for already 80 times today. I entered there, right? Short. My stop should be up here. I'll just leave it here for this webinar. But if you want to do the hot knife through butter and cut your risk down, you can, because this has tried it twice, just put it right there. I'll just put it at the normal just because I don't want to confuse people. I was reluctant to even introduce that strategy to my trade room, let alone show it on these webinars. So my stop is going to go at 97.75. And again, I can feel the eye rolls. What? You're trading ES and you're getting in it. You're risking 20 points on this trade? I absolutely am. The ATR is 8. That means it's rotating 8 points alone every 5 minutes. This is the best way. And again, you can find out the hard way or you can listen to me, right? This is the best way to avoid getting algoed out of this trade. What do you think this is? What do you think all this Christmas tree activity is? It's algos that love to snap out traders, meaning your competitors. What do you think this is a zero-sum game. Algos are big money houses that make computer programs to take your money, right? So they know traders put on trades and they trail their stop and they try to only risk 2 points and they know nothing's going on in here. Actually, there is something probably going on in here. Sometimes this won't draw. It doesn't hit threshold, so you got to draw it manually. This was basically threshold. So guys, this is part of my course too. Again, sometimes you're gonna have to draw this stuff manually, right? So this was, you had 380. So my threshold for to draw icebergs in ES, different markets have different thresholds. Thresholds meaning volume that is worth trading off of, right? This popped to 352, then it popped again here to 501. So I can draw this new event and actually trail my stop to it. So I'm going to draw the buy ice here. So this is why you want to know how to do this too. Again, my course goes over all of this stuff. So, if you want to learn fast or faster than just watching me trade live, because I know I talk fast. I know I'm going over stuff quickly, but I'm trading live. I can't go over basics. That's the point. So if you get the course, you come into my trade room or you watch these webinars or whatever, you hit the ground running and you're not trying to figure out, wait, what is this? How do I find this zone? What do these values mean? What kind of? All right, so I'm short. I'll come back to my rant. There's another stop. So I added to Bark and Lick. I got Bark, Lick, Red Rum on in NQ. New event, could trail my stop. I got Bark, Lick, Red Rum on in here. So I want to look for some. This is already a decent trade. I just want to see where I'm going to be getting out of some of these. So we got about 50 points to the blue lug there, Ludwig level. She's a member of the trade room too, so if you have questions, you can ask her directly. And we got about 9 points to the blue lug here, which is pretty confluent with this. So I will definitely be watching. Hopefully this can just skirt right down there. I'll definitely be watching the bottom of this guy, which is confluent with that. All right, so this is already, where did I get in this trade? I got in way up here, right? Yeah, so this is already a, yeah, this is already a decent trade, right? So You are at a spot gamma level, so if I wanted to get out of some, but see, it's already blown through here. Let's get tick strike rolling here too, so we can kind of listen and determine if this thing's going to keep motoring down. But I'm watching the 60 level very, very, very closely. We do have a spot Mentor Q level. I'm going to get out of one of these if it bounces. I have 5 on, so I'm going to get out of one of these. Actually, we'll get out of 2 because it's... All right, so what did I do there? I just jumped out of, I have 5 on. This is an important area. It's starting to struggle. I got out of some, right? Spot gamma, Mentor Q. I was going to get out of maybe some there, and it blew right through. This is why I use tick strike to kind of judge. And you could use market pulse. Market pulse is tick strike on steroids to kind of judge, hey, is the selling heavy here? Like right now, you can see the selling is not that heavy. We'll go over market pulse when we get a chance. Tick strike's not really doing anything. I know this is a spot gamma level and a Mentor Q level. I got out of 2 of them. I had 5 on. Now what can I do? Well, first of all, I'm going to trail my stop now. Now you can trail your stop here regardless, right? Remember I was talking about hot net through butter, and I'm sure I confused everybody. New event, I trail my stop to the new event. What's that price? Right on here, 90 quarter. So now I move my stop. It was way up. This is how I trail my stop, not because I want to break even if it comes back on me. That's what everybody does. That's why everyone loses. That's what the algos know, and they're programmed to snap this market back and forth on you. I don't know if I mentioned that. So instead of 97 quarter, I'm moving it down to 90 quarter for my stop. And now I can add to this too, potentially off this new iceberg that I drew. All right, what's going on here? 97 quarter. Still got 3 on. All right, I'll just watch it. I don't have time to put on all those stops, so I know I'll forget. But so then what am I going to do here? So we already put on bark, lick, red rum off of this dude. If this does that, here, you know what I can do here? So the trade I missed was off this. So I can take the ATR reversion here, back in black, 69. So this is a long. I can put on 10. So hold on. I'm sure you guys are like, what? What's this guy talking about? Hold on here. So that entry is right here at the 1 ATR reversion as it's 69. That comes back. I'm going to jump in along here. So you see, I'm short on some accounts. I'm going to go long on this account, on another account, if this back in black happens. We already missed the back in black here earlier, right? This one worked like a charm. I don't know if I mentioned it. 2, 1, back to the zone. This one off this. This comes, bounces. I should already been filled. I might get lucky here, which is fine by me. I'm sorry on my trade if you got that on. You're not stopped out yet. This is the zone drawing tool pro, right? This tells you where you enter. That's the 1 ATR stop. And you just follow them, guys. If you have an edge, you just keep putting them on. So if you did get filled on that, the exit's at 59. If it comes back and fills me, my exit's at 59. All right, so that's working. If that comes back, I am still short, and I'm short NASDAQ as well. These are major levels here. Blind spot 8, HVL. This is Mentor Q. We just did a webinar with them last Friday. It's blowing right through there. See how I'm using this stuff to kind of judge, hey, is it going to stop here or keep going? Well, my best guess right now, because this stuff keeps firing off. Now it stopped, of course, because the camera in my office heard me talking. I told you. So I might get out of one of these NASDAQ. Let's see. All right, I'm going to get out of one NASDAQ here. It's a small winner. I'm okay with it. It's just one. I got 3 on. Just the bark and red rum though. I'm gonna hold on to the lick. All right. So why did I get out of one? Well, this got quiet, and we're at these levels, right? We saw earlier how I got out of it, and it ripped off of it. So, and the great thing about this, again, methodology. I don't like to say system. It's a methodology, and all you're doing is trading off real-time volume, right? Oh, did I miss that? No, I put this one on, right? Yeah. I added to this right there. Remember, I took the bark and lick and red rum off of there. Now I could do it again. If this tags this, I could put on another bark and lick. So even though I'm getting out of some here, if it tags here, it shows the same pattern, I'm going to get in more. So like I was saying earlier, guys, this is a way on a trending market. You can keep adding your positions, but all you're doing is you're trailing it to the most recent event, your stop, right? I got short off of that guy. I added to that guy. Actually, could have added to this too. That was a F on my part. I should have two. I should have double barking lick on. Triple, actually. That guy, that guy, that guy, and we might get that guy. So you can have literally like month you're making days when you get these trending moves, and all you're doing is trailing your stop to the most recent event. More stops. You're welcome for getting out of one there, because when I get out, that's when it keeps going. All right. All right, ES is getting real. Here we are right here, right? This is blue lug. If this can't blow through, I'm getting out of these barks and licks, the original ones. Hold on here. What the hell? Right there. So if it can't, and that's bottom, pretty close to the bottom of this, you got blue lug. If it struggles, I'm out of my ES. I'll give it a second. See if this, they can start hitting. See this? This is why I use this. It's real annoying when it's going against you, but it's real helpful when it's helping you. Annoying meaning like there's nothing worse than watching the thing go against you and listening to it. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal, but I need it, right? Still not out of the woods. This, see how this is like spinning around? It's telling you something else too. If this stuff's getting hammered and the market keeps spinning in place, it's probably going to rip back. So I am out of these. The lick trade. Well, I'm going to get out of red rum, and I'm going to get out of. So I got out of red rum. I told you there's a camera in my office. Where was the lick? So you want to know where your lick is before you put the trade on. I didn't even really see where the lick was. I just knew there was some down here. You know, so the lick trade is your target is the heavy resting liquidity, and actually that was up here. So, I mean, this is liquidity, but that's not resting, meaning. So this is the next one down. So I'll hold the lick, see if it can get down here. So the lick trade, I hold. It's the same as a bark trade, pattern-wise, but I hold it till it gets to the liquidity. So I'm going to try to hold the lick down to 60.50. I got out of my. Because this is why I use this stuff. Look at this bounce. This is exactly why I got out. My bark and my red rum, right off the blue lug, right off market profile composite. What am I talking about? These are my important areas. This is where I look for trades and where I get out of trades, or a piece out of trades. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. Ludwig levels, that's the biggest one, most important one, especially the major ones, red and blue. I just got out of my full position, red rum, short, bark short, ES. Market profile composite lows. This in this case. So you had confluence. That's even stronger of a level why I should get out. We already talked about the spot gamma, mentor Q levels. These are all areas where I will pay myself as the market makes money available to me, meaning profit available to me. I don't just put on shorts and hope it blows through these areas. I mean, look at this reaction here, right? And I still can take, I could have taken this 2 ATR. I missed it. So remember, the reversion trade, the back in black, I was going to take it off of that. Well, it blew through that. But that bounced off the blue lug and the market profile composite. So I should have taken the 2 here and the 1. So I'll still put on the 1 if it comes back, but I missed the 2 again. That was at 61. Let's see if we can get back down there. I'll put that in if it pops back down there because I should have already taken it. So guys, if you're confused, I'm just taking different types of strategies. I was short. I got out of the majority of my shorts, the bark and lick. Then this bounced off the blue lug market profile composite. Here's the 2, here's the 1. I'm trading that trade back to the zone. I missed the 2, but I'll still take the 1. The 1 entry is at 68.75. Makes me sad. I missed another reversion here. There's no way it comes back because I missed it. Trust me. I've watched this movie for about 25 years. But I still could take the 1. And you may have stopped out of the 1 here. So this is still trade in progress. So it's like I haven't watched enough of these. I've watched enough to say, guys, we should be trading this. But I don't know. See how the 1, it bounced off there? Well, the 1 stopped right there. So do you put the 1 on again? I'm willing to do it because it bounced off a major Ludwig level. But, 6 months from now, I may say, hey, you know what? If the 1 stops out, don't take it again. Just take the 2. You see what I'm saying? So but the trade's so powerful. Even with not really having, knowing if the 1 stops, should you put it on again, so on and so forth, it's still worth trading. So that's why I introduced it, right? Because I'm trading it. So, all right, I was just really hoping this would come down here one more time so I can get the 2 on. And the other thing too, remember I said don't be taking these reversions, and I probably should be looking at this if you get heavy relative volume. It's not 200%. I'm okay with it. I mean, guys, this is why I use what I use, right? And I get people to come to my room. Do I have to use everything in your that you're using that you put? So I send this to all my. This is what you get when you come in my room, right? You get the video talking about how to use the Discord and everything I'm doing. And this is kind of the same stuff you guys get that I'm showing in the indicator course, the zone drawing tool. But then you get down here. This is all the stuff that I'm using. And then people are like, oh my God, man, there's just so much cost involved with everything you're doing. You don't have to use all this. All you really need is Bookmap, Global Plus. You don't even need Global Plus, but you should get Global Plus because it has everything. It's got the sweeps and everything. And that's what this discount code is. You need the MBO bundle add-on, and you need a Rhythmic or Bookmap data feed. That's all you need. This is stuff I use. Once you watch me, you may say, you know what, these Ludwig levels are, and you would, if you watch them for any point, any time period, you'll say these are ridiculously incredible. But you don't need this. You don't need Sierra chart. You don't need market profile composites. All you really need is the zone drawing. You don't need the zone drawing tool either. You get the spreadsheet as well when you come in my room. That's what we had before the zone drawing tool. That's this. This is the zone drawing tool in spreadsheet form. So you don't even need that if you're trying to cut costs. But I'm trying to tell you guys, there's things you cut costs on, and there's things that you just ante up for if you want to save yourself a world of headache and time and everything else. You have to have, if you're going to follow me and you want all the information that's the most information you can gather in the market, you need the SI indicator, the MBO bundle, and a data feed that has the enhanced data, right? That's either Rhythmic or now Bookmap data. You have to have that, or don't. You can come in my room, but you're just, you can watch me talk about, structure and stuff like that. But this is the driver of my trading. You need the drawing tool. You don't have to have it. I'll give you the spreadsheet for free when you come in my room. But I'm telling you, if anyone's been watching me for the last 8 years on these webinars, it's a pain in the ass drawing these by hand and then coming over here and plugging everything in, especially with our newest trades. Like, they're so quick. Good luck trying to put all this stuff in and then get over here with a 50 ATR and then figure out your values and put your trades on, right? So it just saves you time and money, in my opinion. But my point is, you don't have to get everything that I'm using. You can just get the basic stuff and start from there, right? And then as you start making money, then maybe add the stuff, right? But this is the stuff that I use in my trading, right? Everything that you see on the webinars is everything I'm using. Sierra chart, Ludwig levels, Think or Swim. Again, garbage, but I use it because it's free. I'm going to get off it eventually. Tick strike. That's what this is. All this stuff is our discounts, right? Spot gamma, method Q, hugely important. The other thing we weren't looking at today is spot gamma's hero. This, there's bigger money in here today. I mean, the relative volume's not crazy, but hero and algos usually run the show in these markets. So if you go to spot gamma, put in Scott as the coupon code, you get 2 weeks for free. Check it out. Another thing that you can't really live without if you're trading these markets, because options flow is the 0 date to expiration option flow nowadays. It is the biggest game in town, and every day right around 10:30, that's the manipulation time. Then they start playing games with the hero. They load up dealers. Dealers have to hedge themselves, and that's how they control the markets without futures, right? So, if say that it's a big house nowadays. I wish I had this when I was a big scalper, right? By the way, I'm still going to take this guy if this comes back here. This still isn't. I'll still take this too if this comes back. I'll show you hero here in a second. Hold on. I thought I put this in. Yeah, of course I didn't get filled. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. Let's talk about the hero. Oh, the games, right? So back in the day, I would have, at my height, I could put on 3,000 in mini S&P, right? So if I say I want to get long and I buy my full allotment of 3,000 and the market's just doing this and I'm like, oh crap, I'm out of bullets. What am I going to do? Well, if I would have known about this, and back then it wasn't 0 date to expiration stuff anyway, but what they're doing now is they're manipulating the options dealers. Why? Because options dealers are not directional traders. Options dealers have to hedge themselves. So if they come in here and they start buying options, dealers are on the other side. They're short options. They have to come to the futures and buy futures. So it's just getting another entity in their direction. See what I'm saying? It's complete manipulation, but it is what it is. So you need to be watching this You will understand so much of market movement if you understand here. And here's a flow alert, by the way. That usually means reversal. A big flow alert. Again, this is all Brett from Spot Gamma. Go watch his webinars. He's got hundreds of them on YouTube on how to use this stuff. I don't claim to be an options expert. I just use them very basically, and that's all I need, right? I need to know what the flow is looking like, and I need to know, well, this is his newest thing too, the trace. There's guys in the room right now using this pinning thing. I still haven't done it. They're making like 6-7 times their money on on these trades. It's just crazy. You think I would learn it? But there's a main guy, Big V, in my room. He does these all the time, and he's explaining what he's doing. He's basically trading for moves into these big options levels by the end of the day. Why is this not updating? Maybe it is. Maybe all these levels came off. I don't know. Let's see. Let's try this. Sometimes you gotta do this a couple times. Yeah, there you go. See, that's one of the flaws of that thing. Anyway, like, very likely it's gonna head to here today or to one of these. So he had to come in there and ask him how to do it in my trade room. We actually have a channel. This is this right here. Right. This is my trade room. There's guys popping trades, popping tags, as Macklemore would say. Even though I don't like Macklemore anymore because he said F America, so F him. So this is the trade here. Where is that? Right here. So he talks you through how to do it, and he's like picking off like 7-to-1 trades most days. So it's pretty crazy, and he's always very accessible. So that's again, that's not my. I just filled on that reversion trade. Oh, I got the 2 ATR on. All right, so my stop I never got filled on the 1 yet coming back, but I got the 2 on. So that stop for the 2 is at 52. Let me put this stop in, then I'll go over again what I just did. So I took the back in black reversion. The back in black is waiting for a bounce off an important area. You can either use, I know I already went over this 10 times and I can't really shake it because it's bothering me. I missed this awesome trade. Earlier it was a pop off this, and you take the 2, the 1, and you're out at the zone. This one, we don't have an options level, but it bounced off. The second most powerful thing I've ever seen in futures trading, the Ludwig level. So I'm willing to take this bounce off of the Ludwig level, and you had market profile 2 important areas. Again, it's an important area. It doesn't have to be the Mentor Q or Spot Gamma levels. Right here. Backdoor reversion entries after the market touches an important area. So those are 2 important areas. If I get a new event, I'm out of the trade though. I'm not hoping it comes back to this event. And you can see this stuff. They're still hammering this stuff. So again, guys, you can't predict. I put on this trade. Could I predict that they're going to start hammering the Mag 7 stocks? No. That's why if you have an edge, you just keep trading it. So this one might get swiped. I'm still short, by the way, Lick. That strategy. And I'm still short NQ full. What do we got going on here? All right, this is heading down here too, so I will get out of another one of these NQs if it gets down to these, if it struggles at these. And again, I'm going to try to use tick strike to judge if it's going to push through there. But in the meantime, I could trail my stop for these NQ shorts up to here. 21,513, I forgot to do that. Remember, I have red rum, bark, and lick on here too. 21,513. Hold on, guys. I just gotta trail my stops because I'll forget. And then I'll be bitching about that too. 513. Of course. All right, those stops are, and now we got another. So I just did that, and we have another event already. This is actually a double whammy. Well, it's a little lower. It's pretty much the same. So remember, I'm always trailing my stop to the most recent event. Look at this sell ice coming in here. So guys, like this was kind of signaling as far as what the big money was doing today. This was telling you way up here. This is why you probably want to know this stuff. Again, if you don't know it, you don't have the information. I never said you can't make money trading if you don't have it, but I'm telling you, you don't have all the information. Huge sell ice, huge sell ice, huge sell ice. How'd that work out for buyers? Not real good. And guess who's triggering the sell ice? The buyers. How'd that work out? And then you see them puking out. That, because it's just, the simpler you can make your trading as far as your story, the better you're going to do. Aggressive buyers, aggressive buyers. Meaning sell ice, sell ice, sell ice, sell ice. Here was the first puke. Sell ice. Hey, let's puke some more. Hey, let's puke some more. Hey, let's puke some more. Right? So this is a double whammy, by the way. Wait, I take that back. This is a rare unicorn. Did I just X out of that? I sure did. This is a unicorn. Step Bros. Sell ice. Another 700 sell ice, by the way. Threshold is 150. So somebody is unloading on these markets. What are they doing? I don't know. Don't care. Are they getting out of longs? I don't know. Are they initiating shorts? I don't know. You don't need to know. Stop wasting your time trying to understand it. Okay, hold on here. Did I put my stop in? Yeah. All right, so I want to make sure I screwed up the zone. I X'd out of the zone somehow. So this is another reason why you want to know how to draw this stuff, because you got to add it. So every time this spikes, that's where the zone goes. So the bottom goes right about there, I believe. Let's see. Unless this was another spike. It was. So I'm going to move it back down. Do I had it right, actually? All right, so this is the rare Step Bros. Sell stops. I take that back. What's this one here? Oh, this sell stops was from before, so I'm not going to combine those zones. This was earlier. This was way earlier, right? That was over here. That's 15 minutes before, so I'm going to trade this independently. But the point is so I can move my stop down a little bit. Remember I said 514? Well, now it's 509.75. No, 1050 now. See, that's how it's moving. But as soon as this thing fires off, that's where I trigger my stop to. So if that pops back up, I'll be out of those shorts. And then, so what else could I do here? I missed one of the other barks. We already talked about that. So say this keeps going lower. I can either take a bark and lick off of that, because this one's never proved bullish, as long as this one doesn't prove bullish, and I can add to that. Put another one on, depending on what happens here. I'm not doing anything here. And there's no sexy gexies or anything here. So there's no A plus reversion because your entry is not back in the prior zone. So I got nothing working there. I could take reversions if this bounces off of something. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it if it rips back up. I do have the 1 ATR reversion here off the lug. So I'm not going to take the 1 if it comes back because it's already tagged the stop twice. So this is what I'm talking about. This is a trade in progress. So I have the 2 on. So if it rips up, I'll be tickled. Tickled. 75.75 is my exit for this reversion long back in black. And I still have the lick on. Remember I said 50-50? So if that gets down there, I'll get out of the lick. Let's see what we've done today. So guys, these are, I'm risking $500 on a trade. So it's not like, for these accounts. Let's see what we did here. So, these aren't like earth shattering. I did make, so on the live accounts though, like on the, I'm taking the back and black and sexy gexy on the live ones. So these are the live ones. This one's up $1,400, $1,500 today. This one's smaller because it's about to get blown out because I screwed it up. So this one's up 1,000. So those are live. These are live too, but these are the strategy that this one's live too. The bark and lick is live. But anyway, these are the trades, right? So I would bark and lick. Or this is the bark. This is the lick. So I lost earlier on one of them, I think. These are the little guys, and then this is the MES. Remember, I just got out of those ES, so it wasn't a huge profit, but it was at an area, and it was at the blue lug, and I was okay getting out there, right? So that's fine. There's always another trade right around the corner. So this is what somebody asked me. I hate when people. I understand it. People are always say, "Well, what's your P&L? What do you got for your? What does that look like?" As the reversion trades, yeah, the P&L is pretty. You would have a similar P&L. The position trades, you could be getting in this. You can be getting in the same areas as me, right? So you could have gotten this bark and lick here with me, off of this dude. Well, I got out the blue lug for a little bit of. $300 on the trade on those 2 trades, right? Well, you may have said, I'm trying to get down on these GEX levels, and say this market comes, you put on the same trade, remember, right? Same trade. You're going for here. I already got out of my bark and red rum. and say the market turns right here and comes up back and stops you out. So how is that an accurate reflection on these strategies as far as what I'm doing versus what you're doing? You see what I'm saying? So that's very hard to judge just because I show you a profit or a loss on certain trades. You may be getting out in certain areas. So it's understanding what I'm showing you. The reversion trades are a different story, but here's the point, right? So I sent this to someone yesterday. I don't usually do this because it's an exercise in futility. But these are like the strategies, right? So you can see, like, and these are basically $5,000 accounts. It says 150. These are 250, but this one's 5,000. This one's 6,000. Meaning what you can risk and what you can pull back to. We'll get into the Apex stuff, but I mean, this is up 100%, 50%, 100%, more than 100%. No, that's 100%. Small loser, profit. These will all be, and then I got the PA accounts too, right? So those are the live ones. The point is, the edge is inherent in this volume event, right? But you're not going to get an accurate reflection of P&L, except for the reversion trades. Those are pretty accurate because there's no subjectivity in them. You see what I'm saying? So but there still is, because I may have an important area. For instance, like this one I took off of the blue lug. You may not have the lugs if you didn't take this reversion. So that's still not accurate. So I'm just trying to get through to you guys. You shouldn't take my word for it anyway, right? If you don't believe me, or you're like, you're not profitable, or this is just you're not trading live, this is all a lie, whatever morons out there are saying. Get Bookmap, go back, you got my data feeds, or you can use your data feeds. I offer 4 years of data feeds. Go back and run the days, and what's the beauty of the zone drawing tool too, it'll draw when you replay your days, so you can practice, not a game, practice, and you can run the stats yourself. I just had a mentoring session with a dude last week. He's like, well, what are the stats on the bark and lick? I'm like, I don't have the stats. On my developer is working on them, but I'm working on some of these strategies, but I don't have the stats. I don't need this. I know it works. If you don't believe me, you can believe me in my 8 years of experience in trading these, or you can go back and run them yourself and figure it out yourself. I'm telling you, you're going to come to the same conclusion. So the bottom line is just know this is the best edge I've ever seen. That's all. Again, if you want to know more than that, then go run the days yourself and you will figure it out quickly. All right, this reversion trade, I didn't take the 1, I took the 2. So if that comes back here, I'll be out of that. I would appreciate if it did that, because I already missed one today, and that makes me very, very sad. I missed the 2 and the 1. I don't know if I mentioned that. Let's see if you guys got questions. If you got questions, throw them in the YouTube. Any events in CL today? TRS, I like you. You always interact with me on Twitter, but how in God's name do you not have the SI indicator in the events yet? Like, well, what are you doing? I mean, you've been asking me about this stuff for like a year. Like, you obviously see the stuff works. Why don't you have the stuff in your trading? Like, you shouldn't be asking me if there's events. You should know if there's events, because you should have the events. But no, there's no events here today. What else? Oh, Lou Herbert retracted a message. I hope Lou wasn't ripping me on something. Hero and Trace ripping down. All right, guys, and the other thing, too, to know about this hero, yeah, it's ripping down, but it trades just like a market. Doesn't mean it can't turn around. And by the way, this is what I was pointing out to, too. This is going to be the next trading strategy. The hero. That's not the hero. What did I say here? This is going to be the next strategy, by the way. There was no event, but it's going to be the next strategy. When you get a flow alert, once this thing levels out, the market turns around. There you go. So you can use that information. Very important. So this is almost at my exit here. Come on. All right, there you go, guys. Like, this is what I'm also talking about. By the way, I stopped out of I better have these off. Hold on. Okay, yeah, so I stopped out of the NQ, and it's perfectly fine. Like, this is now, I actually should probably be long something here. I just forgot to even look at that. But, so I rode that puppy down, new event trail my stop, new event trail my stop, new event trail my stop. I'm out, right? So what I probably missed here is a long, was this broken ice event. So they kept pushing it, 700 ice. How did that work out down here for them? Not well. And again, it doesn't mean they're always going to be right. They were right up at the high. Now someone sold down here, not so right. I don't even know what they're doing. I don't care. I just know it's a concentrated volume event. What did I miss? What's that? That's an inflection zone. That was a volume event in an important area, so I missed that long. So if that comes back, I'm going to put that on. I should already, that's an aggressive long. I should have been long. 5-10 quarter, put on 2 Izzy's. That comes back there. So all I got on still is that ES lick because I never got to liquidity. I'm out of everything, all my other shorts right now. Let's put this on here. So if that comes back, again, I won't usually put on a trade if it tags an area where I already got out of some. I mean, I may have got out of one here, but I'll put this on if it comes back. This is Izzy long. I don't know why I keep hovering over the line. I got it right here, 11.50. And then we'll go over that reversion trade that worked again. Come on, little puppy. Come down and fill me there. Oh, the other thing I could be taking here is the reversion back. I just missed this one. As there's a lot going on, man. Depending on, I have 20 things I'm looking at. That was the back in black. I should have taken the 2. And I'll take the 1 coming back. Let's see if this puppy poke back up here so I can put this on. Hold on here. Come on, little girl. You can do it. All right, I'm just going to jump in here because I missed it. But the entry is right here. I don't usually do this. If I don't fill, I don't fill. But it's close enough. It's fine. And it's going to come right back there now anyway. So what is this trade? So I'm just talking about putting on the long back in black, or the long Izzy. That's a position trade. The reversion trades are when it comes back to the zone. So tagged off something important. Here's the 2. I should have put that on. I got on right here. I kind of skirted the rules by a few points. If it comes back to the 1, I'm going to put that one on. Hopefully back to the zone. This is exactly what we just did in ES off of the lug. That was a winner chicken dinner. I didn't put on the 1 because it stopped out. Would have stopped out a couple times. Here's the 2. I'm sorry. It was bounced off that lug and it took the 2. We just did this. I put this on, right? That was the lug and then marker profile composite. Here's the 2-8 entry. My stop was down here. Never got stopped out. Came back to the zone. Out at the zone. So got that one, and then I will take the NQ reversions. I put on the 2. I should have already put it on. I just missed it, so I skirted the rules here. The 1 reversion here is at 99.75, so I'll put that on. That comes back. 99.75, and this gives you your sizing, like I said. You can put that on. 99.75. Because I'm going over a lot of stuff, I'm well aware, but that's why I keep telling you guys, you want to know how to trade these zones and understand them, and then you can get into the strategies, right? I told you this is going to come up to the actual fill there, right? So I would have been filled up there. I cost myself a few points. So the stop for that 2 ATR right here. We got a new event in ES2. So that's at 375. And you can use a little judgment too, guys, too, right? So it's like, yeah, the stop's right here. Well, if you want to move it a little bit above that GEX level, that's probably smart. So you don't stop out right into the level that it's probably going to bounce off of. You see what I'm saying? So I'll move it up like to 05. This comes back and stops me out. Get that in because I know I'll forget, and then I'll walk out and come back in, seeing if I lost $5,000 like I did a couple weeks ago. That was delightful. All right, so that's working. We caught this puppy back to the zone. New event. The only thing I got short is the lick because it didn't get down to that big liquidity that I was going for. And that's fine. I still got those other ones. If it comes back, it comes back. So the stop for this newest event is now here. So I'm going to trail my stop for that guy here. You can see this stuff's starting to turn around. And that all was predicated by the hero flow as well. All right, so now I'm out of this reversion trade. I'm going to take a small loss and I'm out. Why? Because I'm not going to hope it comes back to this volume event if I have a new volume event. So the minute I hear a volume event fire off, even though I didn't get stopped on this, I'm out. That's how I trade it. I'm not going to hope it comes back to this if we have that. Now you can trade to this guy reversions. See what I'm saying? So I gave that a try. New event. I'm out of the trade. Now what we have brewing here is potential A+ reversions. it's an A plus reversion. When you have your reversion in front of or into a prior event, as long as the stop is out. Well, the stop for this one, whatever this one is outside that prior event. That's the 2 reversion. And the 3. So I could put on the 2 and the 3 here if this comes back. A plus reversions. This is the one that's trading at the trading firm right now. So I could take the 2 with the stop through the zone. I could take the 3 with the stop through the zone. I'm using this as protection. I already know the markets come back to these areas as it is. Now I'm using prior events where traders are trapped. How are these sellers in here feeling? They're not feeling good. So when it comes here, anyone that held on, say, please let me out. Oh, thank you. And then it causes, that helps it come back as well. That's why it's called A plus. Let me put those in. So you can see, guys, there's something for every trader in here, in you know, as far as your mentality. I can put on 5 of those. So that one, and then this one's right at the GEX level too. So those are, you can even up your size if you're feeling frisky. I'm not recommending that, but you're using some GEX levels to help you. 68. On top of, so this is almost like A++ for reversion, right? You can take it back in black off of these things too, coming back to the zone, and you have the prior event. So this is an A++. And I understand if you're new, you're probably like, what is this guy talking about? But that's why you need to come to my trade room, because I do this stuff all day, every day. And then the 3 is at 426.50. All right, those are working. Stop for the 2 is at 11, 411. Oh, it's past the time too, so I'll answer any quick questions, and I gotta hop off here because they got another trader. And then stop for the 3 is at 65. All right. Let's see if there's any questions. Busy long NQ, nice job, Lou. Lou, you don't even know what the stuff we've introduced since you've been gone. Since you've been gone. That's why I'm not a singer. Which do you prefer, S&P index flows or S&P equity flows? What do I have on here? I think it's just the combined, right? I set it up to whatever he would talk about. This is the combined, I think. Oh wait, no, here's the equities here. You could look at either one. You have the flow in both of them. But the main one I look at is the S&P 500. So, and Mag 7. Mag 7 is very important too, obviously, because those are the highest weighted stocks. That turned around as well. And guys, you're not going to guess when it turns around. I mean, he does have this new thing, the tape. I still haven't figured that out yet. There's a way you can watch this, but it's like looking at the piece of tape, right? Like, yeah, good luck. But you keep seeing huge calls being bought. The hero's probably going to turn around. So I haven't even begun to dig into that thing. But this is so important to understand what's going on with the options, especially when stuff starts to die down. Like right about now, this is when they start playing the hero games. What did I say? Around 10:30 Eastern or 10:30 Central. Well, this was a little before. Lo and behold, hey, let's load up the dealers so we can get our movement. Boom. That's just moving. This is the notional move that causes good, decent market moves. 1 billion or more. Go watch his webinars. He talks about it all the time. This is the game. Right around this time, this is the new game in town. Let's F with the hero, load up dealers. We know they have to hedge, and then we push the market where we want to push it. If you think I'm kidding, watch it for a couple of days, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. TRS low, just cost at the moment. AUD and to US a bit costly. Yeah, so TRS, you don't have all the information. I mean, if you're a successful trader, great, but I'm telling you, you'd be 10 times what you are if you understood this stuff, and I'm telling you. All right, so I got the reversion trades working there. I got stopped out of those shorts, and still decent trades, and then I still have my ES Izzy on, and I could still, if Algo Guy is still bearish, I can still take these barking licks off of this, right? You did get the retest confirmed. And Algo Guy is still bearish. If this comes back, and this is telling you something too, if it tried to pull, price pulled above, and it can't yank that shorter term exponential moving average above, and it comes back, next wave's coming, just like that guy, right? So I will still put on barking lick shorts off of this guy here. I mean, this stuff happened in the same area. So we got your ATR plus, here's your first retest. We caught that reversion back to the zone, and then I'm going to put on barking lick shorts there and watch it go to 0 today. All right, guys, that's it. I know I cover a lot of stuff. I know I talk fast. That's why you need to, get get the course, speed track, fast track your learning, and come in my room. And I do this every single day. All right, any questions, you can email me, Twitter, so on and so forth. Hope you guys learned. It was actually, oh, my point is today, everything's working, right? Days like today, you don't get out of your chair. You don't say, I made my profit target today and I'm done. Give yourself a chance to give some back, because, you know, you can, if you made, say your profit goal is $5,000. If you made $5,000, then make 10, make 20. Don't leave when you're doing well. When you leave is when it sucks. So like the last week has been pretty crappy. Those are the days where you say, no, this is not working today, I'm out. Right? I'm telling you, that was the biggest thing that I saw in my trading firm when I started. Those morons would get up and leave when they made $5,000. They go sit in the game room for the next 6 hours. Every single one of them were gone within months. I sat in that chair for 9 hours a day, every single day. Right? So I'm not saying you have to do that, but if things are working, do not get up. Give yourself some kind of give back. Okay, I hit my profit goal. Now if I'm out $5,000, if I give back 1,000, then I'm done. Fine, I'm okay with that. It doesn't mean give back all your profit. It means don't leave when things are working. Trading is hard enough. Take advantage of when it's working. All right, that's my little rant. I'll see you guys.